this is the playbook for success. We've gone through it. This is our last class. We're going to start this up, and Kelly, just so you know, we'd like to do one a month.
Okay.
Moving forward for the next year, we're going to do a class a month.
Awesome.
We're just going to keep rinse and repeating it, getting better and
just
better.
pick us a day and a time and make it consistent, right?
It's whatever you say.
Perfect.
All right.
Have fun.
Prospecting for opportunities. Now, guys, this is what I love because I get excited. There's 5 of you. This is exciting. So everyone stand up. You gotta stand up. Because these classes can get boring, these classes can be dull, but we're gonna have fun. So rub your hands together. And on the count of 3, we're gonna scream out yes. And that's gonna get us fired up for today. Okay? 1, 2, 3. Yes! Look, Jamie even said yes. That's exciting. Okay, so my business was based on open houses. My business was based on Sphere. That's pretty much where Sherry's business got started 18 years ago when I hired her as my first assistant. Prospecting, not my talent. You know, some people have said that I like to follow squirrels and I don't stay focused on my phone calls. I don't know who that person would be. But I always find other reasons, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, I got to take care of these transactions. I can't let this stuff go crazy, because when you're doing a lot of prospecting or you're focused on generating new business, you got to be focused on that, and things get messy. Growth is messy, and that's hard, because then it's like last night I had these things that had to be dealt with, and I was tired, but I had to rally and take care of my clients. You know, it's hard, and people who say that it's easy or that here's the magic answer, I'm certain maybe that's out there, maybe, but I'm not that smart. But what I am is I care about my clients, and I'm willing to work hard. Okay, and prospecting, I know, is an area I want to grow my business this year, so I'm going to have to find new business. And especially in this market, if you're doing the status quo, you're not going to grow. Volume is down. Inventory is raising, but it's still down. Okay, demand is down, thankfully, in most of our majors. I think there's like 7 that are now in buyer's markets, right? But you know, we're still at either in a balanced or slight seller's market in most of our. But it means that demand's still a little higher than supply. But if you're going to grow, you're going to have to do a pattern interrupt, and you're going to have to be different. And one of those ways of doing that is in prospecting. Okay. Our model, our playbook is super simple. And also I'm a firm believer in rip off and duplicating. Why spend time and money if you've got it in front of you, you can just take it, right? So I take this from so forget the place, forget the hey, do this, and sometimes I'll use my CRM as an example. There's other ways to do this. My goal today is to show you what we do so you can copy it, okay? But very simply, forget all this team stuff. Sphere, open houses, and prospecting. Those are the 3 legs that my business as a quote agent, not so as a team owner, because the team owes the agent a bunch of other stuff if you're going to play the game as a team, okay? But if I'm an individual agent, you may say, I'm not going to do this. Okay, well then you better find something else to generate it. Okay, our playbook is Sphere, open houses, and prospecting. If you're going to get rid of one of these, maybe you should be open houses, okay? But prospecting is really important if you're going to grow. So that's what we're going to talk about, is prospecting today. And you have to feed your business with new leads. They have to come from somewhere. It could be your best friends. It could be, hey, I'm in a knitting group and I love everyone I know on my knitting. It's like a relationship farm. There's different ways of generating business, 100%. But you better figure out where it's coming from and think it through. All right, lead generation, prospecting. Prospecting allows you to take success of your business into your own hands. I mean, the reality is, a lot of times we have marketing. What's the difference between marketing and prospecting? You think? Well, let me say it differently. There's when you market something, let's say you send out a postcard, or you send out, you do an advertisement, or you do a post on Facebook. You are promoting and advertising what you do, and you're hoping that someone comes to you, right? Prospecting is, hi, can I sell you a house? I mean, we're not going to say it like that, but we're going out and finding the business, okay? And that's, I had some of those today. Click, bad words. You got to have a little thick skin sometimes, depending on what type of prospecting you're doing, right? But it gives you the ability to take control. Sometimes in this business, especially with all this change, okay, and I'm going to take one moment before I move on, because I forgot to do this. We all know that in a week, what's the date today? 24th. And does everyone have the brand new forms from Armless and everything from their broker, so they know exactly what to do, so they can prepare their presentations because they're all clean and ready and they're not drafts anymore?
They're all samples, I thought, still.
Exactly. Exactly. A week away and they're still samples. So you can't put your templates together. You can't, okay? But what I do, and I went back to Real Estate 101 when I was a brand new agent. I printed out all my documents and I read it every night. Print these out, read them every night. It's not hard. It's pretty simple stuff. And the question is, well, I want to be able to do this and I want to do that. Okay. Well, then you're going to simply create that extra draft language. Anyone who wants, I'm stalling, and then I'm going to finalize my draft language. Am I going to be going for 4%? Am I going to go for 3%? I don't know. I'm debating on that. But I do know that how much am I willing to get paid when I'm a buyer's agent? You have to know that. Are you willing to work for less than 3%? Are you willing to work for 2.5%? Are you willing to work for 2%? Are you willing to work for $500? I'm not. Doesn't mean it's wrong. And I think the next 6 months you're going to have a lot of messiness from people that are going to go the path of least resistance that haven't taken the time and the discipline to think about what am I worth and what am I going to do about it. Right? Because those of us that are willing to do something about it, honestly, you're going to wake up in 6 months and you go, holy crap, I got a rockin' business. I'm nailing this thing. Those people that don't take an active part in what they're doing will wake up and say, gosh, I need to find that other job, or maybe they've already got another job. So this is a time of change. It's a time to excel, and I'm excited about it. Does anybody have anything they want to talk about with the new forms, the new changes, anything? I'm happy to take a pause in this class for 5 minutes and go there with you. Everyone cool with what they're doing? I know that, is everyone here in my home group, different brokerages? Okay. I'm planning on going to the town halls, and I'm planning on listening to what Andrew has to say. I'm going to go through that. I mean, it's you just hear it again and again. Carve it put it on your calendar, get it done. If you need copies of what we're doing on our buyer brokers, what we're doing on our listing agreements, happy to share it with you. Sometimes people get freaked out, or they try to keep it. Nobody wins that way. It's better to collaborate with the people that you like, and you guys are on the A list because you're in our class. All right, so it's just so you know that's what I'm doing. Also, as a service, we printed this out. We like this little form. Have you looked at this? Is a pretty cool thing because you get all these different forms, and it's like, well, I got a buyer, and they want to see the property. Well, then there's that one-page buyer agreement to show, right? And then they only want to work with you. Then you got your buyer broker agreement. But if it's your listing or it's an open house, you don't need any forms. You can just show it to them, right? You're good to go. And then if it's your listing and they don't want you to represent them as an unrepresented buyer, and then it goes through on the listing side, the different documents. It's a pretty simple way of looking at it. I like it, so that's why we made it for copies.
Do you want me to click them?
Oh, not yet. No.
Okay.
The prospecting mindset. Okay, this is where I struggled. Okay. Have you ever, I used to think this, does anyone used to think that like, wow, these amazing stuff, they don't have any stress, they just love to get on the phone? It's not true. It's not true. 90% of salespeople have call reluctance. That, you don't know what it's like, but I do. That nauseating feeling of, oh crap, I don't want to pick up this phone and talk to strangers. It's rude, I don't want to interrupt them, I don't want to call them. Okay, well you can go knock on the door. I don't want to knock on their door. But how are you going to meet them? I'm going to go say hi to, that's what we do is uncomfortable sometimes. right? But being that quote secret agent, it's not going to get you any. That's what we are. We're professional salespeople, so we have to put ourselves out there. If it's your chosen profession, you're going to have to find a way to get new business. All right. Why don't we prospect? We're afraid of rejection. Is anyone here afraid of being rejected? I am. I don't like it.
Yeah.
You suck, Carl. I don't like that. That makes me feel bad, okay? We don't know who to call. Does anyone here not know who to call? Great. If you don't know who to call, you can ask us and we'll help you with ideas. You can talk to who else, if you want a list of people to call, you're not on a team, you don't have a lot of technology and resources, who can you get that information from?
Our title company?
Exactly. And sure, I've got triple dialers, double dialers, multi-dialers, CRM dialers. I got all this technology and that's all great, but guess what? Who cares? You can take that list from your title company and you can look at the list and you can pick up the phone and you can make a phone call. And then you can call another person. Or you've got their address, you can go knock on their door. Or you can make a handwritten note and send it to them. And then you can call them and say, hey, did you get my note? There's a million different ways to do this. We don't know what to say. Have you ever had that? Well, that's great. I got a list. I have absolutely no idea what I'm going to say to these people. Does that crosses my mind all the time? What am I going to say to them exactly? I have to take a moment and say, all right. And then, like this morning, well, this isn't working. So I'm going to shift it around. And we have scripts and dialogues, right? You got to practice those things. Then you got to internalize them and you got to make them your own. Okay, but you've got to practice. There's no way around it. We don't protect our calendar. I absolutely have no idea what that means. I am an amazing person when it comes to following my schedule. My time blocking skills are spectacular. Is that right, Jerry?
Oh, absolutely. Is this nose growing?
Yeah. The calendar. I make this fancy thing, and it's just a suggestion, and I just go, right? And that's wrong. I mean, that means I didn't plan it properly, right? I just took a shortcut and said, I'll just throw this in here. I didn't think it through. Like, well, if this is what I'm going to get done, how am I going to do that? And if I want this to happen, when am I going to do that? Are you shocked that I'm saying this out loud, Sherry?
Eat the frog first, Carl. Make the phone calls first and then do everything else.
The other thing is, maybe we're not really committed to the goals we set. I don't care what your goal is. I don't. I want to make $5,000 in real estate this year. There's nothing wrong with that if that's your real goal. I'm going to make $300,000 in net income. I think that's fine. Do you believe it though? Whatever your goal is, you have to believe it and you have to be committed to it. Because if it's just saying it doesn't mean anything. It's like, what am I going to do about it? But those are the key things. And I'm probably taking longer than I should. All right, Sherry. Sorry. All right. Why prospecting works well. Does anybody, first off, in this group, which I know I've got you on the edge of your seats, you're so excited. Who here actually says, yeah, I prospect every day? Anybody?
In the last 30 days?
You haven't. Well, what have you, Sherry? We haven't done much of this, right? And this is one of the reasons for teaching class. What have you learned in the last 30 days? I mean, what do you think?
Well, I didn't get cussed out today, and I only had one hang up out of 120 calls, so it wasn't really that horrible.
Right.
They only pick up the phone once every 4 calls.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So when you look at your list of 120, you're going to talk to a handful of people.
Yeah. Yeah. And but the reality is, the reason it does work is it is the easiest way to get a hold of the seller, by the way. Because we know these people did at one point want to sell their home, right? Okay, you can get an appointment today or tomorrow. It works. It does. You may have to go through. Yes, ma'am.
So are you both calling like expired? Were you calling off of expired and canceled listings? Is that the list you guys
I
are
was
going
calling
off?
our database, and he was
Oh.
calling expired and canceled.
Oh, okay. So people that have like clicked on your website or
At some
open
point,
house
I went through
or
our,
something.
you know what pond is? Just like
Mhm.
people discard these, like they couldn't get a hold of them. Or whatever.
Yeah, I've
I've
been
been
on
going
it
through
too.
the pond, and I think we have 1,000 people in our pond.
Oh.
And we're a small team. I mean, we have people that have like 40,000 people in this pond because they were buying leads for a decade. We didn't buy leads, right? We just really recently started acquiring that sort of thing. But when we're making our dials and doing our prospecting, it doesn't necessarily just have to be expired. We're going to go through some of these ideas of what are some other ideas that you can do other than calling it an expired listing. But expireds, there's actually a year ago, 2 years ago, that was a waste of time. There's only like 1 or 4. I mean, now they're coming through every day. I mean, I'm watching these expired lists and I'm like, oh cool, I got through it. Now there's another 120, right? And then you're calling the old expireds, but that's a whole different game. But you can go crazy with this. You don't have to be great at it. It's true. You don't. I'm certainly not. I'm getting appointments, and I'm a good salesperson, realtor, but I'm not good at how am I going to catch someone's attention in 2 seconds to where they don't hang up on me. That's hard, okay?
Don't ask them how they are. Do just hello and go right into it. Don't ask them how are you today. Just go click.
The thing is, though, you keep going in anything that we do. It compounds over time. The whole idea of compound interest, right? You double a penny. The lender knows this one. You double a penny. Like tomorrow, you have 2 cents, and then the day after that, you have 4 cents, and the day after that, you have 8 cents. I mean, after 30 days of doubling your money every day, what's that number?
A lot.
It's like $3.5 million or something like that. It's something. It's crazy. But this activity, this whatever your chosen activity is, does compound. You do it every day. It's not like, oh, I'm going to do it next Friday, and then I'll do it a month from now on that Thursday. Then that's kind of spinning your wheels. You got to do a little bit every day. All right. Who should we prospect? Okay, this is a conversation. So we're going to go through some of these things, and we're going to talk about some scripts when we get in there. Maybe do a little practicing. Okay. And Sherry, are you going to send this slide deck out to people?
Mm-hmm. Oh, you are?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
So
Whoever's in the
pictures.
chat, I think there's a couple of people that couldn't make it today or get it.
And Kelly's making a recording as well.
Oh, okay,
So,
perfect.
which is not necessarily, it has to sit and watch me. But I think you can speed those things up. Skip over the
You
boring
can.
stuff.
He can talk really fast.
Yeah, exactly. Circle prospecting. Who knows what circle prospecting is? Great. What is it?
So if you have like a listing or if you're holding an open house, you're going to get the names and numbers, of the people in the surrounding that area, and you're going to call those people,
Right.
invite them to your open house,
Right.
or invite them to, let them know you're selling this house, and do they have any buyers for you, or whatever.
Yeah, and we own Landboys, right? That's helpful. I also have a subscription for the team for Mojo. So for us, we just hit a button. It's great, done. But you can do it without using that technology. How else can you do that?
White pages? Like, what do you mean? Yeah, I mean,
How do you get the list?
I think white pages is really good, actually. I haven't used them yet myself, but I've used them I've used white pages, without paying for it. But if you pay for it, I think it has pretty good information.
And once again, back to your title
Title
company.
company.
This is they have the same resources.
I
And
see.
they can get that for you for free.
Yeah.
But then it's just like been
Monsoon.
verified. Yeah. You can do it on Monsoon. Exactly.
Super simple because you just put in the address and then you can pull up the radius around it and it'll pull up all the people. You can make mailing labels off of Monsoon. I mean, it's like such a great resource that I don't think we even begin to utilize.
Yeah,
in our
and you can
business.
go.
And
You
it's-
can take that with you and go door knock. It's not
Yeah.
nothing in life is free.
Well, no, I mean, you're paid for the MLS.
It's prepaid on our
subscription.
MLS subscription.
So you're already paying for it.
Exactly.
Title companies also have a farming thing, so if you have a particular area that you want to work,
Yeah.
you can get an app for your phone,
Oh.
and you can
I
do
didn't
it
know
off
about
of
that.
Yeah, and so if you're
I
going to
forget
door
what it's
knock.
called, but yeah.
I mean, guys. There's so many resources out there. All you have to do is raise your hand, and someone. You get stuck, call us. You're not on our team. Who cares? You're on the A list. We'll help you. It does not extinguish our flame to light yours. Okay, it doesn't. People get confused on that sometimes. It usually makes us better when we help you and teach you. Okay. Canceled and expired. So we just talked about that a little bit. Does everyone knows what a canceled listing is versus an expired listing? What's the difference?
Well, one expired because you have on the contract on your listing, like from January 1st to March 1st. And if you didn't sell it by March 1st, it expires. A canceled would be, you have your listing that started January 1st and then they cancel before it expires, like February 1st.
You're fired, Carl. Yeah. Or you know it's expiring. You can be a little tricky guy like me and just say, hey, by the way, we're expiring. I'm going to cancel it tonight. Is that okay with you? But I mean, whatever. It's still going to happen. They're going to get inundated with phone calls. We want to make sure that they've gone on their do not call list, because anyone who's doing that kind of work needs to scrub against the do not call list.
Do both of them stop racking days on market?
Pardon me?
Expireds don't, if you don't actually cancel an expired, does it continue like a days on market or anything?
It's done. It's canceled. It's done.
I don't know why I thought that. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. It's still, I think here in Armless we're at 45 days. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
And in Prescott it's less. It's like 15 days.
Wow.
Yeah.
To go back to 0?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I remember when it was like 3 months.
Yeah, I know.
90 days.
Like
yeah.
90 days.
Yeah.
I'm glad they changed that.
Right. And we've changed it. We'll switch. She'll be the listing agent. I'll be the listing agent. So it's 0 agent days on market. There's always different games you can play.
Mm-hmm.
But it still comes down to, is the home marketed properly and is it priced properly, and how do you get out there? For sale by owners. When was the last time anyone in this room called someone a for sale by owner listing?
Long time.
Oh, yeah.
Not on purpose?
Do you guys think that we're going to see more for sale by owners coming in with the changes in the market and all this stuff they hear about in the industry? And there's a lot out there.
I'm already starting to see a little bit, and like they're actually putting signs out with
They
little
are.
text codes to like, and they think they're gonna.
They're not following sign ordinance laws. They got friggin' signs everywhere. Like, what are you doing? If it was a realtor, we'd get in trouble. They're stakeholders in the municipality. We can't get mad at them. So, but the reality of for sale by owner, okay, this is where this next 6 months is going to be messy. And I'm assuming that this is going to stay the same because we're professional sellers and we are in the business of marketing and letting everyone know about it. Because when we're listed in the MLS, okay, we are going to be everywhere, okay, and it's going to be, now there's other people that I'll sell your house for $9.99. I'll sell your house for $500, and I've been in those markets. You see that, you go, oh no, this is over. I'll never make any money. The reality is that you get what you pay for. You do. And you're not always going to get all these people, but these individuals are going to recognize that they're going to get frustrated when they don't have the answers, they don't know what to do, and no one's going to help them. You know, and those sellers that think that, oh, we're going to all work for free, that's not going to happen. There may be some realtors that are silly enough to work for free, but they're not going to be around very long. Okay?
And they're not going to do well representing them. I ran into one that was like that, and the realtor wasn't even around. I had to talk to the seller personally.
Right.
And she was not being represented. So in my
That's
mind,
like manna from heaven. I mean,
right.
I'm just like, wow, that's awesome. I just
for
love
my
that.
client.
Yeah.
But my thing is like, how is that not charging a fee for paperwork then? If he's not representing her, how is that legal?
That would be outside of my wheelhouse.
Okay.
And if Andrew was in here, I'd have so much fun watching him answer that
I
question.
have to ask it.
Because it's in writing and it's clearly denoting what their responsibilities are, and they're not doing it for them. They're specifically stating this is what I'm doing. And there's nothing wrong with you saying, here's my menu of options. I will get paid $1,000 to do this. I'll get paid $300 to do that. You want a CMA? I'll do it for this. So it's not paperwork. It's like what we're doing.
Oh.
Okay, and then there's also but you're right, from a representation point of view and the fiduciary question, that's scary to me. And whenever I see people going down that road, they do expose themselves to liability. And I'm not, that's not my game. I'm an all-in guy. Okay, but for sale by owners, there's real business there because they will eventually they're either going to sell it, and 50% of those that sell fall out, or they're going to get disgusted and they're going to list it. And they're going to list it with the person that just shows up or the person that's been dripping on them for the last 4 weeks, right? Vacant homes, we have those, a lot of them. And, you've got, that's another way of reaching out to finding leads. Because I'm just talking about who to call, right?
Yeah.
Defaults, this is a national slide. So, I mean, we call them, notice of, a trustee sale, right? And so, pre-foreclosures, those type of things. Just listed, just sold, right? Something just sold, and depending on the market, or just listed. That's an easy way to say, hey, did you know did you hear about the house at 123 Main Street? No. Oh, we just listed it. I'm making sure everyone knows about it. It doesn't have to be your listing to have those conversations. Open house invites, we do a lot of that. One of the easiest, most fun phone calls. Hey, just want to invite you. We still get hang up, there. I don't want to invite. Don't call me. All right, but inviting them to see the open house, and they come see it. We want to see the neighbors. Are you here to talk about value? Home valuation leads, those are awesome. We all have automated valuations. I'm assuming you do, but even if it's still on Zillow, if you don't have your own website and your own auto evaluation, you can use another valuation. You can take the Zillow lead and you can send it to them and say, hey, I saw that this was your home value on Zillow. What do you think about that value? Right? It's something to talk about. Would you like me to give you my professional analysis? Can I stop by and see your house real quick so I can get you that number? Internet leads, which we still do. They're still there. People think it's an internet lead, it's going to close. They're shitty leads. Well, who do you know that's looking at a house? They're sitting in bed at night, they're scrolling through Zillow, Redfin, where they're looking at homes on their phone. And every once in a while they're going to punch a button. That's what an internet lead is. Okay? And so that doesn't mean they're going to buy tomorrow. They're just looking around. But that's a lead. They're thinking about a house. And if you stay in touch with them over time, they will come back. It's about a year, I think. What's the average? What did Bob say the average time was between the initial internet touch, internet lead and a closed transaction?
I think it depends on how many
like 13
calls.
months or something.
Well, it's 14. It's at least 14 dials before they'll talk to you.
Yeah. It's good data. All right. Am I going too fast? Too slow? Too boring?
It's
Let me
okay.
slow down.
Your face, such great information.
Oh yeah, you're just sucking up.
No.
All right. How much should we prospect? I almost got rid of the slide. The question, like, how much should we prospect? I don't know. I mean, how much should we prospect?
Every day?
Well, it depends. Why are we even doing prospecting? Why are we lead generating?
What's our goal?
Grow our business.
Yeah, that's right. What are we trying to accomplish? No, I can't answer that. It comes down to, what do you want? What is your business plan? Where's your business coming from? If prospecting is not a part of your business plan, I'm excited that you're in this class. That's awesome. But I'm assuming if you're here, you're like, all right, whether I like it or not, prospecting needs to be a part of my business. So you better figure out, where am I going to get that business? I'm new to town, I don't know anybody. Well, then the Sphere is great, which is the easiest sell ever, but if you don't know anybody, you better prospect to find some people to get them into your database so you can drip on them and develop a relationship, right? But you're going to have to meet, if you're going to do pure prospecting, okay? And that's an on-purpose way of meeting someone from, pulling open that phone book, random names, right? Which is, we're dealing with expired or canceled or for sale by owners or whatever we're getting these people. We're going to meet them either with a phone call or we're going to knock on their door. Now, are there marketing techniques that you can round around this? Yes. You can send a letter. How many times you get the letter, hi, my name is George. My wife and I are your neighbors, and we just like to buy homes. And this may sound crazy, but I would really like the opportunity to buy your home at a fantastic price. I mean, you all get those kind of letters, I'm assuming, right? And so, I mean, there's a million, but they still are, you're going to have to meet people. But the goal of all lead generation is to do what?
Grow your business.
Is to close.
And if you're going to grow your business, that means a closed transaction. If I have a closed transaction, then before that closed transaction, I had to represent a
Seller.
or a
Buyer.
Okay, if I'm going to represent a buyer or a seller, okay, before that, I had to have what?
Appointments.
Well, yeah, I'm getting, okay, that's, you're ahead of me.
Sorry.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, you have to get an appointment. You got to get an appointment to meet them, to to say, hey, I'd like to be able to show you my value proposition about why I can be a great buyer's agent or listing agent. Can I do that? And I meet with them and I said, if that's okay, will you hire me? Sure. Then I actually have a client. I'm in business. I'm either going to go out and market and sell their house, or I'm going to get them and go show them property, right? And then I'm going to go out there and I'm going to go under contract. And then I'm going to get a closed transaction. But we need appointments. We got to meet them. They throw something at us. Gosh, sounds like we should meet. That sounds fantastic. We should meet. Can I come by and talk to you about that? That's what we want. Face-to-face interaction. That is our job. We got to do that. Everyone here use a CRM of some kind? Or how do you guys keep track of your people? It's okay, there's no wrong answer. When I started in this business, I had index cards in a metal box. That's how I took care of it. Then I moved to, Excel and things like that. So how are you keeping track of the people that you know?
I have a CRM, but I'm not using it because I don't have a lot of clients. So just managing them as they come, I guess.
That's good. How many clients do you have? How many people do you have in your database?
Well,
there's no wrong answer at all. It could be 5, and it's okay. Let's just say there's not a lot.
Yeah, there's not a lot.
But no matter what the number is, you've got to stay in touch with them. And you got to keep, because if you're doing this job, and you're doing it effectively, and you're growing that data bank, okay, it will come to a point to where you're going to forget. I had that happen to me this week. My wife gave me a lead. She met some lady. She sold her house.
Oh, you did that, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
Terrible.
Yeah, will you call this lady? Absolutely. Did I write it down? No. Did I put it in my calendar? No. I called the lady. It happened to me last week. Sherry says, hey, I talked to Pam and she and her husband are thinking of selling their house. Great, that sounds great, Sherry. Thank you. I'll make sure I do. Did I write it down? Did I put it on my calendar? Did I follow? No. So it's like 2 strikes here in the last 3 weeks because I'm busy. There's no friggin' excuse. The reality is you got to be aware. We all make mistakes and lost opportunity, and that's okay. But I'm consciously incompetent in this regard. I'm like, okay, didn't work. Now it's not to say that I'm not going to get them or I'm not motivated to make it happen. Whew. Sorry about that, Sherry. All right, we got to put the leads. We got to get the leads, and you got to put them in your database. And I don't care if your database is a spiral notebook. If it's note cards are good. Stack. Put a rubber. Here are my leads. It's a rubber band. Here's my leads. This is it. This is my database. I carry it around with me. Not a problem. But you have to figure that out. Does everyone else? I'm curious. Now that let's just pause. How are you keeping track of your people?
So I'm not so great at using the CRM,
Okay.
but I have my sign-in sheet at open houses, and
Okay.
that's what I've been using.
So
But I want to get back to being organized CRM because everything's like a little bit everywhere, and then that's where you forget, and then you miss.
If it's all in one place, it's okay.
Yeah, that's what happened to me. They're like, "Oh no, we bought a house," and I was like, "Dang it."
Yep.
Yeah, so
Exactly. That's what happens.
It happens. It happens. Mm-hmm.
How are you keeping track of your people?
Well, in my head. No, I'm just kidding. I do forget things, unfortunately, and I've had KV Core for a little bit, and I've tried to use it. It's just really hard for me to manage it because I'm not a techie person, but I am still trying to do that, and so I do have like my contacts in there, at least my top. The one thing so I don't really know yet. I'm really all over the place with it.
A couple tricks for you guys, okay? That yes, we got technology coming out of our ass, okay, which is great.
It's so crazy.
But, okay, one simple thing, okay, is you get a whiteboard, put it up in front of your desk, okay, and you write down your leads. Who are my top leads? Write them in, so you see them. I still use manila file folders, and I've got buyer leads, I've got, recruiting leads, I've got different, I've got them, it drives Sherry crazy because my desk is full of these manila file folders, but I like to be able to grab the file folder, open it up and say, where am I with this particular lead and what's happening with it?
Yeah.
Okay, but keeping it in that somehow you've got to do that. How are you keeping track of your people?
I just started, so I don't have a database.
Oh, that's great. That's fantastic. Take it, if you need a blank copy of an Excel worksheet, we've got one for you. But the reality is you need to have a first name, a last name, a cell number, an email address, and a mailing address. How many people do you have in your phone?
A couple hundred, I'm sure.
Okay. We need to, it's like, I'm goofy. I've got like a lot. Like 8,000, a lot. Too many people in my phone. But you also, are you on social media at all?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you on LinkedIn?
Yes.
Are you on Facebook?
Yes.
Instagram?
No.
Okay. But if you were to go through LinkedIn and on Facebook, how many friends and contacts do you have there?
Yeah, a few hundred.
A few hundred. Maybe it's just a first name. It's still a contact. It's still in your. Get them all in one place. Put it in a spiral notebook if you have to. Write it. Put it in. Do you know how to use Excel or Google Sheets or something like that?
I do not know how to use Google Sheets. That's something I'd like to learn.
Do you know how to use Excel?
Yeah, a little bit.
It's all the same.
Yeah.
I still.
Okay.
Sherry loves Google Sheets. She's great.
I do have a really good cheat sheet for Google.
Okay.
So if you want it, let me know. I'll copy it for you. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah.
The reality is, this class is important about what we're doing, but Real Estate 101, first thing, who do you know? I'm just give you that hint. Write it down. And join my team. Go to this. Like, forget that crap. Get all that noise out of your head. Who do I know? Who do I know? Yes, I know you.
I'm so sorry to do this, but I know I'm talking a lot because I have so many questions. Like, I really want to do this, and I want to start, changing up some things in my business. But like Facebook, Instagram, and all those, is there a way to extrapolate, is that the word for it, the information
Download
into some kind of spreadsheet, or do you go through, and if you did
Jamie,
that,
is there a way
would
to
that
do
be
that?
like illegal if you just did that and
Can you
did it
download
last
your
time?
contacts from
Chris,
Facebook? And
Chris had
Yeah.
instructions for it. Yeah,
Yeah.
you can do it. Yeah.
It's a little tricky, but
All you need to
business
do
is
is actually type in downloading my contacts from Facebook,
Oh, wow.
and it will give you step-by-step instructions.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank God for Google.
I know, but so then with that, if you're wanting to put them in your CRM and you want to start like some type of campaign or something, do
So
you
then
have to
you
get the
come back to my
first?
Sphere and Gear class, and I'll
Oh.
walk you through it step by step.
Okay.
Or as a friend, this is to me though, because if I go down there, I've only got,
No, I get it.
I'm gonna,
sorry.
because that's a whole different,
Set an
Leg in
appointment.
the stool.
Set an appointment with us.
we'll do that for you.
Yeah.
You don't have to join the team. Okay?
Well-
I can't give you more than like 45 minutes, but I can just pour into you for 45
But
minutes.
Jamie wants you to
Okay.
join the team.
Aw, Jamie.
Now he's saying you don't have to join the team. Now it's different when I join the team.
It doesn't apply to you, Jamie. You have no choice. Okay. Okay. So anyway, sorry guys. I get excited about that because that's fun for me. But it is. I know a squirrel. That's me. But I'm consistent. I am consistent. All right. It leads at it, and then buyers and sellers signs. So they're just talking about what we're doing and how we're doing it. Let's talk about circle prospecting. Okay. Circle prospecting is a simple. If I need to start somewhere, I don't know who to call. I don't know where to go. I'm going to do an open house. Okay. This script is for this is randomly calling because you theoretically have a buyer. If you don't have a buyer, then you say to your spouse or your sister or your friend, hey, can I show you homes for sale? Because if I were to I don't ever like to lie. So if I'm going to tell a tale like this, I want to at least have some sense of something there, right? But anyway, this is not a bad script. And the thing is, we can read these things here in class. It means nothing. Because you have to say, and I'll say, hey, I'm reaching out today because we have a buyer looking to move to your area. And just so you've heard, the real estate market is very hot. It has lower. These things change time by time. So the market's changing. Have you heard that there's a lot more inventory in the market now? The market's shifting. Things are changing. It's always changing, right? So whenever you have these scripts, you're going to want to change them, rewrite them, practice them, internalize them. Because the last thing you need to do is be on the phone and say, so I told this buyer that I would make some calls and see if we can find anyone looking to make a move in this market. have you thought about making a move, or do you know anyone looking to make a move? I mean, they will have hung up long ago. I mean, it's just not gonna happen. I mean, so whenever anyone who hates the idea of scripts? Anyone here, like when someone says scripts, you go, oh, I hate scripts. Okay, so you got to know what they are, and you got to embrace them. Okay, because we all have scripts. Jamie, you're so smart. See, that's a script I have. I say it all the time. Okay, so it's just a script, but that's a script. That's what I say, right?
And when he says that, I just hang up immediately.
All right. But circle prospecting, we went through and we dialed down 300 people in that neighborhood, that open house last week.
Yeah, we
About
did that, and we did Lenny's for this, it was like 250.
Yeah, but it's like, it's the easiest thing. Hey, just want to let you know we're having an open house on Saturday. We wanted to invite you. You're in the neighborhood, and it's important that you know what's going on in the neighborhood. If you have a question about value, and sometimes neighbors feel weird about going to their neighbor's home, but we want to make sure you know that you're invited. We're going to be there Saturday from 11 to 2. We'd like you to come by. Oh, okay. It's a nice conversation, if they let you get that far. But you never know, because then you meet them, and then they show up, and you develop. It's all about developing relationships and getting them into your database. This is a script. It doesn't belong because I didn't have any place to put this, but because bank owned, this was back in the foreclosure and the bank owned days. We don't have those yet, but everyone's looking for a good deal. Like if you ever want to know how to grab someone's attention,
Right.
so you just say, "Hey, are you interested in a good deal?" And it begs the question that if you're going to have those conversations, maybe every morning, maybe you get a cup of coffee. Who here drinks coffee? Am I the only person? Oh, or tea. Maybe orange juice. I don't know. Water.
But you know.
But you have a glass of water every morning. Maybe with your glass of water, you sit down, you look at the MLS, and you go, "I'm going to find the most perfect home. I'm going to find a home I love that's new on the market." Just look at new homes that are new on the market. Of those new homes, is there anyone that you love? We'll talk about reverse prospecting to that, but find one you love. Then you can, and know it. Maybe you go preview it, and you can talk about it. You got something to talk about. As a new agent, previewing, knowing your inventory, doing that. Yeah, have you taken the Armless classes yet online? So you're a master of.
They have one today, right before this, I think.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I took that today.
Okay. So you know how to do your searches.
No. I
Okay.
took rapid stats today.
Oh, rapid stats. Okay.
But there's some really good videos, really simple ones. They're only like 2 minutes long, and they're really easy. So if you need those, let us know.
Do you know where to click on in there to get those?
Yeah.
Okay. Do that.
Will do.
One thing. Forget all this noise. Learn how to do that, and then go look at homes. You find one that's interesting, and then when you're talking to people, how's the market? What's going on? You go, oh, it's great. You know, I saw the most cool home. Did you know that the most expensive home in the MLS is $25,325,000? I have no idea, but I'm assuming it's something like that. What's the cheapest home in the market? What's the cheapest home in the market?
$1. I saw it,
$1.
but it's like a bidding situation. Like
But
that, so
just-
people are doing that. They're posting things for $1.
But what a fun
And it's
conversation.
Yeah.
Did you know that there's a home for sale for $1?
You just make a bid. Just there you go.
That's you instant conversation, right?
It's true. And
Reverse prospecting. There we go. I could pull up with my CRM, the way we work in our CRM. I can pull any. When I find that perfect home, and I've kept track in my database. Like I don't care if it's KV Core or whatever. You have the parameters with which you make some notes, or you've created a listing alert for them in your CRM. It could be flex. You can do you create these searches, right, of what this person's looking for. It's fun for us because we can say, what's my favorite home? This home. And I can then search and find out of that home how many people in my database are interested in that house. Whenever we do an open house, it's like we have at least 25 people that it's like, really? They're looking for that house? I mean, so that's a fun conversation. People aren't looking and making these phone calls and doing that type of prospecting work, okay? But reverse prospecting is, how do I find my buyer matches? Does anyone, you guys follow what I'm talking about here? I guess I could,
You could do it on the MLS too. You could, it won't give you, like, this is our database, so it'll tell us who they are, but you could do it on the MLS and it'll tell you what agent has them set up, has that same search set up for them. And then you call the agent or you send them an email and you go, hey, there's somebody in your database. And then what they can do is they can run through a report and find out exactly who it is and call them and say, did you want to go see this house?
Oh, wow.
So,
I was gonna go do it, but I'm on this new computer, it doesn't remember who I am, so I won't do that. I was gonna show them how much fun reverse prospecting really is, but.
Yeah, you don't have that.
Okay, I am actually back. So, but do you guys understand that concept? The idea, you find a house, who do you know that might be interested in that house, right? And then cancel expires. We talked about cancel and expires earlier, okay? But that's another great list of where we're going to do. 90% will relist in 18 months or less. Fact. I am not moving. With a home is not for sale. I'm not selling my house, don't call me anymore. I mean, whatever, okay? But the reality is 90% of those people are going to relist their house. So if you're looking for listings, and it's heavy lifting, but I mean, they've raised their hand and said, I would like to sell this thing. That we as professionals are not focused on that more is crazy, right? So. Practicing. If you guys need script practice partners, you can do it here. You maybe 5 minutes a day. We get together every morning for our power up and we practice. And it's not a big deal. It takes 30 seconds. Just give me an objection. Let's practice it. Okay? Yes?
I would like to buy a house, but did you want me to give you an objection?
Sure.
Okay.
Bring it on.
I'd like to buy, my house is on the market and it's not selling, but I need to sell my house in order to buy one. So I'm
So wait,
just
am
filling it
I,
out.
just so I can put perspective on our conversation,
I'm the buyer.
you're a buyer.
Mm-hmm.
I'm meeting you someplace, or I asked you.
Oh,
I just want to, because
you
you
started then.
No, it's okay.
Sorry.
I want to hear your objection, and the objection
This is what I'm hearing a lot. It's, my house is on the market, I have to sell it to buy it, to free up the equity to buy it, but no one's buying my house.
Okay, so in any objection you hear, the first thing you have to do is you have to mirror that and come back. Oh my gosh, I hear that so much. So what I think I hear you saying is that you're frustrated because you have a house to sell, but you haven't sold it yet, and you need to sell that house before you can buy your next house. Is that what you're saying?
Mm-hmm.
Well, would you be offended if I asked you a couple of questions?
Okay.
Is that okay?
Yes.
So, have you met with a lender and explained that so that you can see some of the different options that are available to you?
And I used to be able to make that. I would have been able to buy this one, but now that the rates are higher, I'd have to sell my house
Okay.
to do it.
That's so interesting to me. Wow. Because I especially since you're selling your house, and I don't want to step on those toes because clearly I'm meeting you in an open house and you have another person that's representing you. And I'm asking you if I can help you buy a house. But did you know that when we work with our buyers, that we negotiate with those sellers and we connect with your lender? Who's the lender that you're working with? Paul?
Yeah, Paul Gosar. Yeah.
He's amazing, isn't he?
Yeah, he is.
I know Paul. And so I would like to, with your permission, when we go out this Saturday, do you have time on Saturday to go look at some homes?
Yeah.
Because I'll bet you I can find a solution. So if I can find a way with which you can go under contract on a home and actually buy that home and not have to pay 2 mortgages, would that be of interest to you?
And not have to pay 2 mortgages.
Yeah, does that sound interesting to you?
Yeah.
Would you like to hear more about that?
Yeah, I would like to hear more.
Great.
First.
Would it be okay if I had Paul give you a call?
That would be awesome.
Because now Paul calls and Paul says,
A miracle worker.
All calls are PFA mortgage. You know you're trying to sell your house and you want to purchase a new house. We do have a program for that. We can do a cross-collateralization bridge loan to where you won't have 2 mortgage payments. So you do not have to sell your house, and you can buy the new house. Once you do sell your house, though, you can use the remaining equity to put it down on the home you just purchased, and then we can recast that loan for you.
And in addition to that, that's why it's a three-way call, is because, just so you know, we are really aggressive about making certain that we support our buyers, because whatever that may be. Now, do you think that interest rates are gonna come down in the next year?
That's what they say.
Right.
But they've been saying that. I heard it before.
Right, exactly. But I think the reality is sometimes when you have a lender like Paul, and you can beat the crap out of them, and you say, so Paul, if we go under contract on something, and then the interest rates drop, and she needs to refinance her home, are you gonna cut her some slack on that cost of that next loan?
Absolutely.
Great,
You
fantastic.
said the recast is for,
On
are there any
the,
fees on the recast?
no, the only fees you're gonna have are title fees, and those are discounted on refinance anyway.
Doesn't this sound exciting?
It does. It sounds exciting, but it's a little risky.
Oh, so when you say risky, what do you mean by that?
What if I don't sell my house? What if I need to rent it out then instead?
Well,
Because
we do
can't-
have, I don't know if Paul has this, but we do have programs where we guarantee the purchase of your home.
Oh.
Yeah,
okay.
and what we're gonna get it appraised, we're gonna do the hard work, okay? And nobody wants that to happen, but in the worst case, you're gonna know exactly what's gonna happen if you don't sell it. It's a guarantee. And if something's guaranteed, that's not risky, is it?
Yeah. See, I wish he was at my open house last weekend because we would have gotten a deal.
Well, you know what though, do you know
I
who
know.
that, did you, because of course.
I didn't get his info.
Wow,
I know.
okay then.
That's what I was saying when I came in here.
Okay.
That I'm really rusty.
Wow, okay then. You know, we have little open house sign-in sheets, and I can help you with that scripting. So the next time, I'm gonna do an open house right after here, you can go with me, and I can show you what I do. You're happy to come over and practice with me.
Me?
Sure,
Oh, okay.
yeah, it means you have to work and stuff, but. Sorry, couldn't help myself. Just had to go there. All right. But you got, whatever it is, do you understand that if you don't practice it,
Yeah.
if you don't practice it again and again, it won't be, you'll stumble on the words. You won't remember the conversation. If you didn't practice the conversation with the lender and how to go through that and do that, you're not going to be able to finish the conversation because you're going to keep thinking, what am I supposed to say? And then boom, they moved on. I forgot to get them to sign in. I don't have enough money to buy the G.I. Joe with Kung Fu grip. You know, all that.
She wants to wait until.
Okay, I've lost all of you. They're all separate conversations. I've lost you. I've lost you. I'm so sorry.
No, we're talking about open houses.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, we were talking.
No, I'm
about
okay
speaking
with being
out.
lost. I just want to make sure we're a million directions. So
I know.
I'm recentering, and I'm going to move this along quicker. Am I going too slow?
Worse than
It's
that.
2:36. We'll be out of here as soon as you want to be out of here. Okay. But if there's something we got to talk about, let's go there. Is there something we want to go through?
No.
You
No,
sure?
we're just getting to know each other.
Perfect. I love that. Our classes are bonding sessions, Sherry. Isn't that fun?
And that's so important too.
It is. Okay, you're on the phone with somebody and they got a problem. And you know the friggin' answer. Are you going to tell them the answer?
No.
No, exactly. What are you going to say?
An appointment.
How are you going to say that?
I don't know. Yeah.
Let's practice. So we're practicing, right? So there's a question. So let's say this is a phone conversation. So what I hear is that you're worried about how you're going to be able to buy the home when you still haven't sold yours, and you're worried about the risk, and it's just a little overwhelming. Is that correct?
Yeah, you got it.
You know what?
Right.
It sounds like we should meet. I've got so many answers for you, and I'd love to be able to take 10 or 15 minutes of your time to show you what I can do to solve that problem. Would that be okay? I've got time this afternoon.
Well, why wouldn't you just tell me what I can do now?
Oh, I can, but there's so much more, and I'm so worried that I don't have enough information because I haven't taken that. We can spend the time. Maybe we can reconnect on a Zoom, okay? But I want to be able to show you what it is I'm doing. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. I mean, yeah, I know they're going to push me, but I don't want
No,
to.
but I like that.
I want to meet them.
She was hard to get an appointment.
No kidding.
No.
An answer,
Well,
just
if you
put
have
them
all the
back.
answers, just give them to me.
Alrighty. All right. They're not gonna commit. All right. I don't want to do it. But I mean, if you're talking to these people, you can at least say, "Well, would you mind if I come see your house to get an idea of it?" Now, you threw a weird one because they had different representation, so I can actually call and make a showing appointment to do that. But
Right,
that's
but
that's
the thing
that's on
is,
the fine line of ethics.
Their house was in Colorado, selling in Colorado. different
Okay.
state, and they're renting here right now. So
Okay.
they're paying a rent.
When's their
I
lease
know I
up?
should have done so much more. I'm so mad at myself because
Relax.
it was a really
Relax.
bad.
Just cut yourself some slack.
Yeah.
This is the best thing that ever happened because now you're thinking it through
Right, so
and you're
next
more prepared
time.
for the next one. Don't be. That's
Their lease
Don't
is
do
due
that.
at the end of this month.
great. Where are they renting?
And that's the truth. In Lone Mountain, where I had the open house, actually, like, they love the community.
Do you know where in
They're
Lone Mountain?
renting in there. They did not. No, I don't.
Oh, I was gonna say, have them come to your open house. Did they come to your open house?
They did. That's what.
Oh,
That's how I met them, and they loved it. It's just they were like, the guy's like, I'm literally having an open house in my house in Colorado this weekend, and if we don't get any bites, I'm just gonna be renting it out.
So then you can call your lender and you go, hey, Paul, I'm a
No.
loser. I forgot to do
I
this.
need that.
Hey, would you mind if we send out a
I-
postcard? Would you mind if we send out a postcard this week to 200 homes around my last open house? I didn't get the contact information, but I'd like to send a postcard out about this thing that we talked about. What do you
Yeah.
say? Would you help me with that?
sure thing.
You know what's so weird too is you could probably look up who's renting in there.
Yeah.
Probably not a ton
You
of
can look up,
renters.
you can look up what rentals are in there.
Yeah.
Non-owner occupied. Within a half-mile radius, you could do that. You know, you could do that on Monsoon. It's amazing.
I know. I need to do that.
All right, we're coming back to expireds. I know you guys are done with this, but I'm like, let's get some listings, and there's no better time than right now, okay? Call 3 times on the first day. Wait, what? What? But once they've told you to go to hell, then they're off your list, okay? But if they don't answer, I don't leave a message, I can say no, and then you keep circling.
That's
back
the
to
key,
it.
don't leave a message.
Don't leave a message. Okay, after that, call once a week. After that, you call the first week for the next week. Call Jesus. Call one a day for a week, and then once a week at that point. Okay, and then once a month forever. Okay, and then it says text, email, mail, and door knock. That means you have created a auto plan or a campaign, and where we all have CRMs and director of operations to help us with that. You don't need that. Well, you do. I do. Don't take me the wrong way here. But the reality is that you can create that yourself. Right? This is what I'm going to do in Lone Mountain. I'm going to do this for this area. Get to work, Cinderella. It'll work. It will. Okay?
I'm trying to door knock it. All the renters.
You know how powerful that'd be? I saw you at my open house.
I'm just looking for someone that came to my open house.
That's the best script in the world.
Right.
What a great list.
Glad it came to my open
That's
house.
amazing.
I have an answer, a solution for their problem.
That's so,
Sorry.
that's so awesome. You know how powerful that is? Can I steal that?
Absolutely.
I
And they're
love
like,
that.
wow, this woman knocked on all these doors trying to
crazy.
find.
I love this. Hi, I'm a loser. I just want to let you know I forgot to get this person, and they asked me a question. I have the answer on how they can do X, Y, and Z, and I'm just knocking on doors until I find them. Does that sound interesting to
All
you?
the renters, yeah. And then you meet all the renters in there.
You'd be
Which is
hired
actually
too,
pretty
because they're
good.
gonna go, this woman went knocking on doors.
And then, you know what you're going to do? You're going to get a testimonial from that person, and it's going to escalate and explode your business, and you're going to be like this social media amazing person here. I can't wait to
That's
hear
all.
about this. Do you need any sunscreen
always-
or a hat?
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna take some.
I'll buy you some.
Take some water bottles with you.
Right.
How many slides do I have in this? Do you remember?
Did you add any?
Yeah, not really. So I would
See.
run out of time.
That's my fault.
All right, there's 3 reasons why a home didn't sell. Okay, number 1 is how it shows, how it was priced, how well it's marketed. But I know it seems like your home is priced well. You know, what do you think? They're going to say, well, the realtor sucked or the marketing sucked.
Yeah.
Gosh, that's amazing. You know, we should meet. Sounds like we should meet. For sale by owner. For sale by owners are everywhere believe they can sell their home and save all or part of the cost of hiring a realtor. Now, that's true, okay? The reality is, who calls a for sale by owner?
Realtors.
Okay, realtors will call. Who else?
Maybe someone looking to buy a house.
Yeah.
Investors.
Investors.
Yeah, but if you're in the market to buy a home, you might, right?
Yeah.
But more than likely, people who are calling on purpose, they're looking for a deal. More than likely. Oh, for sale, it's going to be a deal. And they don't want to pay that commission either. Everybody wants that same damn commission. They can't all have it, right?
Is there a list where you can get on those guys' photos, or is that?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. You go on my CRM and you hit for sale by owner, it pops up.
Really?
You can see, yeah. Land Voice has it, Mojo has it, your title company has it. You know, there's easy way. I mean, yes, it's easy for us because we can just go there, but you can do it on your own. If you don't have a relationship with your title company where they're jumping through hoops for you and you're working your butt off, and then you're actually directing your escrows to them, you should be, right? You should never take without giving, which is the basis of our business. When I give something to you, your natural reaction is to do what?
Reciprocate.
Exactly. That's why I give to people. Okay? It's so much easier. Instead of saying, well, what's in it for me? It's just, let me help you. I'll help you. I help you. You help me. And then if 70% of those people we're in business together, it's all good, right? And the other 30% can go to hell, right? Sorry to use a bad word. I apologize. The overwhelming percentage of for sale by owners will end up feeling futile and will convert to realtor representation. That's factual. It's in the data. Those that do find a buyer, 50% are going to fall out. So think about this is something that's trending. You're going to see more for sale by owners. This is an opportunity for you to find business. Now, are other realtors doing it too? Yes, but not consistently, not on purpose. This could be a great prospecting area for you. If it doesn't resonate with you, move to one of the other options. But you need to pick one of these. The vast majority, let me ask this question. In this room, who in this room is excited about going out this next week and attacking the for sale by owner business? The vast majority, no. So there we got 1 out of 10. So 10%. It's normal.
Wow, that's so interesting.
It's normal. So you know what? Or they make one phone call, maybe 2. Nothing is going to happen with that. You got to stay on. How's it going? This is on purpose selling. This is relationship selling with a for sale by owner, and you're going to have to go through 20 of these to get one, right? And it's an everyday. This prospecting, it's like, it's work. It's work. Okay, but this is productive and it does make a difference. All right, we tell them why they're wrong, why they shouldn't, but they don't care because in their mind they're thinking, well, you're just another damn realtor. How many realtors per capita do we have here in Arizona, Sharon?
1 in 168 people are licensed.
Jeez.
So many.
Because if you're licensed, then you're a professional and you're out working every day, right?
Mm-hmm.
No.
They just have it. Doesn't mean they're working.
Exactly. Well, that's why these changes, frankly, guys, this is awesome. Because all those people says, I'm going to get my license so I can get paid. Those days are gone. They're gone because they're going to say, oh, that's not guaranteed. If it says in the MLS I'm going to get paid, when that's not going to be as of a week from now. Only professionals.
I remember everybody was using the line it's free. Like don't worry, you don't have to pay me, it's free.
Yeah, you might as well use a buyer.
I
don't
remember
cost you anything.
Yeah, which I always thought was really silly to say that.
Right.
But a lot of people were doing that. So I wonder what.
And they believed it because the thing is the revenue always came from the buyer. I mean, it was all based upon the money from the sale of the home.
Yeah.
And so this is, in my opinion, change is hard. It's going to get messy. It's going to be a pain in the ass. In the long run, this is probably the best thing we could ever.
I think it's going to reduce a lot of house porn because.
Excuse me?
Yeah, I have. So have you?
This is a G-rated class. I know you kind of go there, but we don't need to. You don't have any pictures, right? Okay.
But there's those people that will call you and they'll want to see like 4 or 5 houses. And they never do anything, and it's like you set them up with their lender, they get free qual, all this, and then they'll be gone, they'll be kind of silent for months. And then
Or they call their cousin to sell
Is
the
this-
house.
it's like they just want to do house porn, like
Has
they
that-
just want to see homes, like
Well,
it's exciting to
what
them.
questions could you ask that would help you identify someone who's not really serious?
You know, first of all,
Because I, honestly, no disrespect, I haven't seen that.
you haven't, I have and this is actually from internet stuff, more or less,
Internet
like
leads.
internet leads.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can relate.
Yeah. And I'm really nice. And so a lot of times if I don't have another appointment or something that day, I will go and show the homes because it's good for me too. But, you know, it's just, yeah, then when you are busy and you can't do that and they expect that, that's when it becomes a problem.
My
But
question
I have
is,
asked questions, like I've, you know, got them pre-qualified with a lender and I've done all of that. It's just, they still, and they rent, they're renters, the specific people I'm thinking of right now. I just feel like eventually they're going to buy. But
well,
I
have
just
you had a
think-
discussion about the value of homeownership?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Do
and
they understand
know.
about appreciation? Do they understand how much it's costing to rent?
Well, yeah, I mean, I understand what you're saying. Like, I'm complaining, but I shouldn't be because it's my fault, basically. And I totally agree. But I do think having that paperwork is gonna be huge for.
Well,
things
bottom
like
line,
that.
it's the rule. It's our broker. If I'm going to stay licensed, I got to obey my broker, and he says get this damn thing signed before you show a property.
Right.
Okay, so it's easy. He just did my job for me. That means that's fantastic. I can't wait to do it. Just so you know, the rules have changed a little bit, and you have to hire me either for the day or
Yeah.
forever. And I always let people fire me, by the way. But we have to, if we can spend 15 minutes before I show you the house, it'd be great. Would you like to meet at the office?
I would like to meet you at that house. I want to
Great.
see.
Well, if we can just take a few minutes, I can either do it on the car outside, or we can meet at I think there's a Starbucks around the corner. You want to meet at the Starbucks, or just do it outside the house?
Let's just do it outside the house.
No problem. I'll bring my hat.
Okay.
Okay.
But I'm glad that we're doing that. That's the one, I think that's gonna be a good thing.
So I'm going to dance through the next 10 minutes to make sure, because remember that first list, different types of prospecting. So what I'm trying to do is go through these different types of prospecting and get your minds thinking about some of the things. We'll get you a copy of this slide deck so you can look at this. If you need to practice scripts and dialogues, happy to help. We do that on a regular basis. If you ever need that, you got to pick your spot, and then you got to practice so that you don't in that open house say, crap, I forgot to do that, because you're not practicing enough. That's all. That's all it is. FSBO process: call, text, email, and drop off items of value. Right? That's powerful. Go to the house. See the house. I want to see the house. Hey, I'm making a list of homes that are off market or for sale by owners so that I can share with my buyers. Is that okay? Can I put you on that list? You do want to ask that for sale by owners. Hey, when I bring you a buyer, you will be paying me. There's a bunch of different ways to ask that question, but you got to make sure you understand market stats, sample contracts, and asking them to help them. You know, anyone who's not interested in your house, I mean, can I follow up with them? Can I do an open house for you? Okay. FSBO scripts. I'm going to skip it because we're running out of time. Okay. 86% of for sale by owners will eventually list with an agent. Of the 14% that do sell on their own, half of them knew the buyer already. Isn't that amazing? Look at those. That's an amazing stat. Okay. The average for sale by owner sold for over 12% less than professionally marketed properties, and 75% of real estate related lawsuits had one party unrepresented.
Wow.
75%.
That's
the value we bring. Those are the things that you want to talk about, right? Vacant homes and rent by owners. Listen, I'm not going to dump on this too long. But that is something that Monsoon can pull up. We have people that are out of state. They've been renting. They don't want to rent anymore. They would like to sell it, and it's easy to get this data. Okay, and but then you want to talk about how the market's shifting, and the rental market's changing, and this is a different one, and I don't know. Because the inventory is growing, this is a better script and a better focus when you can't get a listing. There's no inventory. We have inventory now. We have, I think around, what do we have in
Almost 18,000, I think. Yeah.
that includes condos and townhomes, correct? Right. 14 and change of single family. It's really normal. I mean, it may seem like, oh my gosh, we got so much inventory. There's not that much inventory. This is like a balanced, normal market. So this is better for, this is probably not perfect for ours. And then there's the notice of trustee sale. We don't, it's like still like 2%. There's not a lot there. We're getting more, okay? But it used to be, that's all we used to do was this business. I don't know that it's, that's not something I'm worrying about or focusing on right now. But boy, do we have data and do we know how to do it. If you ever need to do a short sale, we can help you with that. We know how to deal with that crap. And I know how to manage the banks and all that sort of stuff because that's what I did. But the just listed and just sold, okay? That's something that's super interesting. It doesn't have to be your listing. It's an area that you like and you want to market and prospect around it. This home just came up. That agent that took that listing is not doing the work, I guarantee you. If they are, then go to a different listing. But very rarely is that agent saying, hey, I just took this listing and I wanted to make sure you knew about it and invite you to my open house. They're not doing that. It's just not. And did you know that the home down the street that sold? Oh, it sold? Yes, it closed escrow for such and such on Tuesday. Are you familiar with what that means? Have you thought about what that means to the value of your home? Yeah, I don't need that. Oh, fantastic. Where are you getting your value? I get it from Zillow. Interesting. Wow, that's really interesting. Do you feel comfortable with the Zillow valuation? I mean, you can have so much fun with that conversation. The reason for my call is because we just listed sold a home in your neighborhood, okay? Well, that's, if you ever get a listing or you represent a buyer, you are losing a huge opportunity to bring a value proposition to those people around you. You just closed on a home. That's amazing. I just sold this house down the street. It's huge, okay? And I sold, you want to hit something positive about what you did on that house, okay? And I'm calling around today to see who else in the neighborhood might be considering making a move in this great market. Great market, I thought it sucked, I thought it was horrible. It just an opportunity for discussion. Open house, invites, and follow-ups. I think we've talked about this, okay? Anybody have questions on the scripts and then we talked about how to invite people to an open house, right? We're cool with that. Home valuation leads. Does anyone, we do that. Does anyone here send out home valuation leads? Okay. If you don't and you're looking for listings, okay, use Zillow as your home valuation lead. Look up the Zillow value. Snip it. Does everyone know how to snip something? Mm-hmm. Right? If you don't have their email address, you can mail it to them. Think about that. Snip it, put it in a pre-printed mail. Hey, I saw this value. I'm not sure that I agree with this. What do you think? I'd love to come by and talk to you about it. I mean, we're talking about ways to do business. Because in other words, you're like, I don't know how to get business. And there's always a shiny object, and that shiny object has something to do with you opening up your wallet and giving it to someone else. Oh, no, that's too old school. People don't do that anymore. Here, just give me $500 a month and your life is going to be perfect. That's why of new agents, 40 to 90% of new agents, new agents spend on average between 40 and 90% of their income on expenses.
That's why you're only in the business 82%.
Well, because it's like I'm spending this money and I'm not making any money. No, stop that. Start making money. And you make money by learning what it is I do, finding people that need you because they do need you, and providing value and service and getting paid for it. That's what we do. That's our job. Sorry, I get passionate about that. Internet leads and reverse prospecting. We talked about reverse prospecting already. I like to do things over and over again in a class and replicate my slides just to see if you guys are paying attention.
There's a lot of options here. They'll see it when they get the slideshow.
I'm going to get rid of the duplications first, if that's okay.
No, there's different scripts.
That's true. There are. All right. Whew. Look at me. 3 minutes to go.
I'm sorry, you guys.
What are you sorry for?
Because
What was
I like it. It's fun.
What was slide number 41, Carl? Quick, don't go back. No, I'm just kidding.
All right, guys. So we did go off on some tangents. Okay, and one of the things I usually ask at the beginning of a class, and I didn't, is there anything that you've already asked? Is there anything that anyone else has that they wish we had covered, or a question they've got about business, or a question about their business that they'd like to have a brief discussion about.
Jennifer was just making up for the class she missed last time.
That's right.
She missed the last one, right? So see?
I thought I was here the last one.
Well,
but the one
she
before
missed
that.
one, I know.
No, I think
She's
you
on
missed
vacation. And
We're-
she was just.
And I'm so glad you're here.
Yeah.
Here's my question to you, okay? I am selfish by doing this, it gets my head in the game about my playbook. So I can't wait to go out and do my playbook now, because I got to do this class. My hope is, of the 5 of you here, okay? Is there any one thing that you think of in the next week? Doesn't have to even be about prospecting. Tell me one thing you're going to do in the next week to generate some new business for yourself. What are you going to do?
I mean, I host a lot of open houses, so I think I'm just gonna start calling and inviting them over, because
How many open houses are you doing in the next 7 days?
the next 7 days, I try to host 4 times a week.
Whoa, good job.
So
Are
Friday
they
through Monday.
yours or are they
No, there are other
I love
events,
that.
or, yeah.
If you get one, when you get
When I
one,
get one.
just call invite the neighbors before.
Yeah.
Like give them the day before or
Is
an
it
hour
better
before.
to call or door knock and let them know?
Do
Like,
both.
Our model is to do both, honestly.
Okay.
And so you can only do what you can do, and sometimes you
Right.
run out of time. But the reality is, if you've got a flyer and you're going to do an open house, and if you were to get there 30 minutes early and you were to do, just 3, 3 this way, 3 that way, on either side of the street, that's what, 12 houses?
Yeah,
That's powerful.
yeah, I'm gonna definitely.
Over
do that.
time, think about that. Let's say you just did 10. Let's say you just did 8. 2 on these 2 and those 2, right? That's 2, 4, 6, 8. 8. I did it 4 times a weekend. Okay, that's 32 people.
Right, yeah.
And maybe only half of them opened the door. Maybe only a quarter of them opened the door. I only met 8 people. 8 people.
Yeah, that's
8
better
people
than-
get put into your database.
Yeah.
8 people that get a handwritten note card. It was so nice meeting you. Thank you for talking. I didn't see you at the open house, but I know this neighborhood. Would you like me to get you a free evaluation of your home? I mean, 8 people a week is friggin' amazing. That's 32 people a month. What's 32 times 12? Around 400 people?
Yeah.
Bottom line is, all you need is 200 people in your database to generate 24 deals a year. If you do it the right way.
If you do it the right way.
You gotta know what to say. You have to say it to
If you
the,
have 24 people in your database, you can close 24 deals if you do it the right way.
not necessarily.
If you do it the right way.
If one of those people's in jail, then that's not gonna happen. Except I had a guy that closed on a house and he was in jail, so it does work. You gotta know what to say. You have to say it to the right people, and you have to say it enough times. You have to have enough people to say it to. That's the key. All right, guys. Thank you. It's 3:01.
Are you doing an open house right now?
I have an open house at 3:30.
Okay.
Why, you wanna come with me and see what I do in an open house?
Well, no, you know what, I'll swing by though.
Okay.
No, it's in half an hour. Where is it?
Here, I'll show you. This will be fun for you. So and then I'll delete you, okay? Because well, no, I'll keep you in there, but then you'll see how.
I want to come to one of your open houses and just say hi, so it doesn't have to be today.
It's okay. Here, let me find it. Here it is.
But I am very.
So here's what I do, okay? So first off, I have a QR code, right?
Yeah.
So look at my
Cool.
QR code, and